All right, folks, today we're going to tackle a tricky subject, TikTok. But before we get started, let me explain how this is going to work. Since TikTok has a habit of banning people for being too mean, especially when it comes to certain unnamed individuals, looking at you, TikTok CEO, we're going to do something different. Every time I feel the urge to say something a little too spicy about the CEO, I'm going to replace it with a sweet, wholesome line from a children's book about bunnies. Why? Because no one bans bunnies, and I'd like to keep this video up. So let's begin. TikTok, as we all know, is the place where creativity can thrive. Unless, of course, the algorithm doesn't like what you're saying. Case in point. Michael Lofton, from Reason and Theology. He made a totally reasonable argument. Women can't be priests, a teaching that's been around for millennia in the Catholic Church. But what does TikTok do? They slap him with a hate speech violation. What's next? Will they start telling priests what words they can use during confession? Imagine the priest saying, "I absolve you," only for TikTok to chime in with, "Sorry, Father, that's hate speech." Now, normally I'd be firing off a spicy take about the CEO of TikTok here, but instead, let me read you this lovely line. The little bunny hopped through the meadow, sniffing flowers, and making new friends along the way. See? Wholesome. Anyway, back to TikTok's strange definition of hate speech. Here's the deal. TikTok seems to think upholding long-standing religious traditions is offensive. Meanwhile, actual hate speech often flies under the radar. It's almost like TikTok's algorithm is a fluffy bunny, hopping through fields, completely oblivious to the real issues. This is where things get serious. We're not just talking about someone's feelings getting hurt here. We're talking about sacramental sabotage. I don't usually find myself defending Catholics because, hey, I'm Orthodox, but today we've got a ceasefire. TikTok's censorship has gone too far. Michael Lofton gets a pass from me because this affects all of us. And as for TikTok's CEO, the bunnies of the forest gathered together for their spring festival, celebrating the warmth of the sun and the beauty of nature. That's better, right? So friendly and non-threatening. Now let's take a step back. TikTok's censorship isn't just hurting content creators. It's starting to mess with religious practices. Imagine a world where priests have to worry about violating TikTok's guidelines just for performing their sacred duties. That's real discrimination, folks. And to the CEO, wait, let me stay safe here. The little bunny smiled as he shared his carrots with his friends. There we go. Nice and sweet. So in conclusion, hats off to Michael Lofton. We may not agree on everything, but today we're united. Ceasefire in effect. But Michael, don't get too comfy. We're back to our theological debates tomorrow. And as for TikTok, well, I was going to say something strong here, but let's go with, the bunny danced in the sunlight knowing justice was just around the corner.